everybody. We are live on YouTube, and today I want to talk about something that has affected me and it may be affecting you as well. And that is kind of a feeling like I'm losing my momentum, getting behind, and feeling very tired. I don't want to say burned out because I'm not burned out from what I'm doing. I just feel like I have so much that I am doing that it's kind of like, oh my goodness. And and because that's happening, because I've been feeling this just so much to do, so much on my plate. That was my sweet little Chewini leaving my lap. She likes to come with me into the office when I do my office work. She loves to be in here with me. She's sitting beside me. So, as you're joining in today, I'd love for you to say hello. Please let me know you're here. Please tell me, if I don't already know where you're from, let me know where you're watching or listening from. Love to see everybody. Hey there, glad you're here. And just tell me what's going on with you. Are you feeling the same thing that I'm feeling? Like I said, I'm not feeling burned out from doing what I'm doing business wise or loving my family and going to see my grandkids and the Nutcracker and in their Christmas program and all of those things. But it just seems like right now there's just been so much. It's been such a busy year, so much going on. I'm dealing with some fatigue. I'm really tired. If anybody else is dealing with some of that, let me know. And if it's impacting your business, let me know that one as well, because I feel like, that affects all of us in one way or the other. And I'm feeling it a lot right now. This is the time of year when we're pulled in so many different directions. And I don't know about you, but as a business owner, I'm always looking for tips and hints. And I know some of y'all watch me. You probably watch other people to get tips on how to make your business better. And I do that too. Yeah, really tired right now. Yeah, so that is REAF3395 saying that. And it's just one of those things where we're pulled in different directions. There is Kathy. Hello, Kathy. I'm so glad you made it. Not sure which end is up with all the things that she needs to get finished. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and it's just from one thing to another, to another, to another. And if you're building a business, like I said, I've watched some people, now not a lot of people that I tend to follow a lot are saying this, but I have seen it where if you haven't already planned January or the first quarter, you're behind. And I'm sitting here going, oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say about that, if that makes sense, because I'm like, I feel like I just take each day, right now. How many of you are taking each day as it comes? I want to just take a breath, have a conversation about what forward movement really looks like. And, as natural wellness practitioners, we should understand probably more than anybody in business does how important it is for self-care, to make sure you're taking care of yourself. For that part of the lessons that we've learned of, if you're flying on an airplane and something happens and the oxygen mask fall, you're supposed to put your own oxygen mask on first. And yet it's one of those things, for me, it's so easy to push through and keep taking care of everybody else and everything else, that I feel like sometimes I don't put that oxygen mask on myself to start with. So let's see if we can bust that myth that if you haven't planned 2026 that you're late, and how we can do that. Because everywhere I go, it always feels like there's this sense of urgency. How many of y'all feel like everywhere you go, it's got to be done yesterday? Whatever it is, it's got to be done yesterday. And there's something else that keeps popping up. You finally get something checked off your list, and you get something, or maybe three more somethings added to it. And so as wellness practitioners, we thrive on that holistic mindset of alignment, of everything being, in good working order. We want our emotions, our soul, our spirit, as well as our physical body to be healthy and whole. We want that for our clients, and you want that for your business as well, because for yourself, you have to have that. You have to have that if your business is going to have that. So when we start looking at how to plan ahead for 2026, I am looking at, okay, I want to look, I'm a planner. I mean, that is my design anyway. That is, I'm a planner from, I watched, I was, let's see, is it Myers-Briggs with the 16 different personalities? One of my daughters has just, between the different social styles and energy profiling and all the different things that we've looked into a lot, she's never felt like she's fit. And so we were playing around with looking at the Myers-Briggs. I'm like, to this first daughter, I'm like, you may want to look at this because it has 16 personality types instead of just 4 or 8 or something like that. And it might help explain if you can find. Well, we played around and she did finally settle on something. And of course, while we were looking into it, I had already found in years previous the one that fits me. I'm an INTJ, for anybody who's curious who does Myers-Briggs. But I'm like, but one of the things that she was doing, the daughter was doing, was she was watching YouTube videos about how she scored when she took the personality quiz. And she was like, this is me, but that's not. And she found one that was like a parody of my type. And it was like, the very first thing was a guy standing there and he's like, okay, I have the next 30 years planned, but I forgot to eat for the last 3 days. And that's, I mean, I can literally, my husband, bless his heart, sometimes is like, have you eaten yet? Have you eaten yet? Because I forget. I'm more about planning than I am about remembering to eat or do some other things. I'll push past the hunger and just go, I got to get this done. And so, yeah, I'm a planner. And so when I sit here in front of you and go, have you planned? I want it to be your kind of planning, not my kind of planning. I don't want you to feel like you have to plan the entire year out. I don't want you to feel like if you haven't planned anything, things are, it's terrible. I just want you to go, what is going to suit me in my time without feeling the pressure? My time during this busy season, the Christmas, New Year, all that's going on season. Some of us also celebrate Hanukkah. Some of us have other things going on. And so there's a lot to do. There's a lot of stuff going on in our lives. And we're also trying to plan for 2026. So how do we get clarity for what we're going to do this coming year without feeling the pressure? And one of the things that I have to think about is I have to step back and go, I don't need to get caught up in the rush of, okay, now I feel rushed. I have to do something to make things happen. I want to choose one priority for the rest of December. What am I going to focus on for the rest of December? So as you're looking at building your momentum and looking into what you're doing in the coming year, these are the guidelines I want to give. So if you're taking notes, grab your pen, your piece of paper, and just choose one priority for the rest of December. Maybe even into the beginning of January. Give yourself a grace that first week to go, what one thing am I going to focus on? Is it going to be reaching out to clients that you haven't seen in a while? Because that would actually be good, because, a lot of times people start to take evaluation of their health and they want to book health appointments either at the end of the year. A lot of people do that with their medical doctors because they're trying to get, I've met so much of my deductible, I might need to go ahead and do that. So they may be doing medical appointments in December, but you could also look at it and go, well, how about your wellness checkup, your natural health wellness checkup in January, and start, just reaching out to them and seeing, hey, is this something I could do? Are you working on building some education? Maybe that's what you focus on right now. Are you writing a book? What are you doing, and what can you focus on right now that suits you? So that's one thing. Choose one client nurturing activity. So what do I mean by that? That may be something where I think we should all have our own email list. Rose Hollow, good to see you. Okay, her priority is going to be taking her vacation time. Oh, I love it. Without logging in so I can come back in 2026 feeling strong and refreshed. Okay, Rose, I have to say that is a beautiful goal. And when I want to hear back from you that you did not log in while you were on vacation. Are you going anywhere fun? Are you doing a staycay or a vacay? So when I talk about doing one client nurturing activity, what I'm talking about is, making sure you're reaching out to those who are your clients or might be potential clients. And how do you do that? You've got to have your own email list. So one of the things we do in Roots to Results Coaching and Academy is we emphasize the need to get contacts, to have people who come to see you. And we call them those are our clients, but if they're not seeing you yet, we call those our leads. But our leads are the ones who might come to see us, and we just need to contact them and touch them. So when I put together the Roots to Results coaching class last year, I started about this time last year really diving into writing the curriculum, and all of the coaches agreed across everywhere. It took 7 to 12 touches to get someone who is a lead into becoming a client. Well, fast forward just 12 months, and now they're saying instead of 7 to 12 touches, it takes 28 touches. So it takes a lot more. Why is that? Because we are now inundated with social media. I mean, y'all, bless your heart, over the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, you got an email and a social media post and everything else from me every single day. And it's not like I'm trying to harass anybody. I had some people unsubscribe from my mailing list, and you will too if you do that, and you don't want to feel bad about that. You don't want it to be like, oh my gosh, I lost somebody. Yeah, it hurts a little bit, but the truth of the matter is you don't want them in your subscriber list anyway if they're not going to come to you as a client. So what you're doing is you're finding who really are the people who are really part of your tribe. Now, I just shared all that because when I say do one client nurturing activity, that may be something like sending them a season's greeting, sending them an email, letting them know you're there, but reaching out. It could be you've written a blog or something like that, and you're sharing that with them. You want to stay in contact. And you want to make sure now that we're going, okay, instead of it taking 7 to 12 touches to get people to come book an appointment with us and come see us, if it's taking 28, well, that's more than 2 touches a month. So 1 touch a month is not necessarily going to be enough if you're trying to get new clients. And one of the things we also focus on is we want to retain those clients. So there's a way to do that as well. But for the month of December and for what we're trying to get right now, okay, so you're going to let me know. Good deal. And it's a staycation. Well, I hope you have a wonderful staycation. There's something about just staying at home and not going. I like both. I like going and I like staying. And I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. Okay, so when you're doing, when you're reaching out, just make sure you realize that it can take a while, and you want to get to the point where instead of just touching them once a month or something like that, it may take 2 or 3 times a month of putting yourself out there, sharing things and things like that to get your leads to become your clients. So we're going to recap. We're going to choose one priority for the rest of December of, just what are you going to focus on? What's your priority? And that is staycation for Rose. One client nurturing activity. Are you going to post on social media? Are you going to share an email? Are you going to do something like that? Are you participating in a Christmas event where you're putting your business name out there, that's cool too. Choose one business supporting activity. What do I mean by that? What is something that's a business supporting activity? It may be something where you're going, okay, I'm going to take the time and I'm going to clear off my desk. Or, hey, I'm going to take the time and I'm going to go through my files. I'm going to finally set up a system. I'm going to investigate, getting a calendar app. Whatever it is that you've been thinking about that will make your business system run more smoothly. Think about that. And just let everything else go until January. Because we've got just a few more weeks and it's going to get busier. Mine is getting busier. My calendar's getting busier and busier. I say that it's already on the books, but so just reconnecting with one client from the past is something. Share your story on Facebook or on Instagram or LinkedIn, wherever you do social media. Clean up your booking page. If there's something on your website that you've been wanting to do that's kind of simple, put that on your list. Look at your offer. Don't change it. Just look at your offer and go, what is it that I could do in 2026 that might, do I need to raise my rates? Do I need to lower my rates? Do I need to do a package? What do I need to do? Just start looking at it and reviewing it to see how this can if you just choose, that's just 4 things. And you know what? The truth is, you don't even have to do them all. You could choose 1 or 2 and say, this is all I can do right now until after January gets here, and that's all I'm going to do. So let's reframe. Let's look at January. We typically think as January as a fresh start, and that's what we want to do too. We want to give ourselves permission to start fresh, to go into it. Maybe at the beginning of January, you want to take a couple of days and just go, this is what I would like. These are my goals. These are the things I want to accomplish. But now, if you set New Year's resolutions, that's great. I don't set New Year's resolutions. I just set goals. I'm like, what do I want to accomplish this year? Do I want to, and I don't always fulfill my goals. One of my goals was after I completed the Roots to Results Academy, and the coursework that I was doing for that was to start chemotherapy. And I was all gung-ho to do that. And then I realized I had put a little bit too much on my plate, and I needed to step back and go, I think I need to do something different. And just, because I had other things on my schedule. I was doing a webinar for IPA. I'm going to be a speaker at the IPA symposium in February. And so I had so many things that I was already doing. Yeah. So Rose says, I just sent out my monthly email and I've hired someone to work on my blog to improve SEO. That's cool. That's awesome, Rose. And next she's going to figure out how to make my Google business page a bit better. Yep. Those are good goals. So that's the thing. And if you don't have a Google business page and you're in business, I would highly recommend doing Google business page. All you need is a Gmail address. And it doesn't have to be the one you use professionally. Like I have a sweeturbanliving@gmail.com because that's Google, and Google is everywhere. And then my business email is beth@sweeturbanliving.com because I have my own email. So what I'm saying is, what Rose has brought up with Google is you don't even have to have a web page. This is one of those things, a website. Some people are like, I don't have a website. I'm just getting started. I don't have a website. What do I do? Have a Google page. Have a Facebook page, because both of those are free and you don't have to pay for them. Whereas with a website, which I love having a website, but you have to pay. So there are always ways to get started and do things. And when people search, I've had so many people say, I looked for a naturopathic doctor. I looked for a holistic health practitioner in whatever area I live in. And they're like, I can't find anybody. That's because natural wellness practitioners tend to not have Google business pages. They tend to not have Facebook pages. They tend to not advertise. And we are missing out by not having at least something like Google business. So good for you, Rose. I know that was a took a side trip there, and I don't mean it as pressure to anybody. It was just such a good moment of going, you know what? There are ways when you're just getting started, or even if you've been in business for a while, as solo entrepreneurs, many times we're looking at our budget and we're going, I have to watch what I'm spending, and websites cost money. And if I don't know how to create it now, if I don't know how to create a website, I don't know, if I'm not very technology driven, then that means I have to hire somebody and all of that. And see, that's just more pressure. I don't want you to take that on right now. What I want you to realize is there are ways to do things that you can do for free. And having a Google page, having a Facebook page, those are just easy ways to get started. So one of the reasons, going back to my New Year's resolutions, is we tend to, it's not that we don't keep our word, it's that as we go, one of the things that we do in the Roots to Results is we have flexibility in our goals. Rather than resolutions of I must do this, we have the ability to be flexible, to shift and move. I've had several of my clients who started out thinking they were going to do one thing in their business, and 3 months in, they're like, oh my goodness, no wonder this didn't fit, because what I really feel like I'm called to do is this over here. So if you thought you were going to do this and now you're going to do something else, it's like you're able to, if you just have goals, you can shift your goals. And it's not like, oh, I have to, resolution, if I don't do this, I'm a failure. Whereas if I have goals and I look at, and I have, so you always want to set goals for like no more than 24 months out. You want to accomplish your goal. Some goals, I'm not saying that some goals aren't like 5 or 10 year vision, but when I say this, I'm going, you want actionable goals, and you want those actionable goals to be 24 months. You don't want it to be something that is a 10-year. Your 2 years are on your way to your 10-year, if that makes sense. Your six month goals are on your way to your 2-year goals. Your 2-year goals are on your way to your 5-year goals, and your 5-year goals are on your way to your 10 years or longer goals for your business. I hope that makes sense, because what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to get across is, if we are always looking at our goals and we say, oh, well, my goal was to do, maybe your goal is to have a business where you have 20 new clients this year. All right, well, that's a 12-month goal. Well, if you reach that in 6 months, you need a new goal. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a new goal. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to just, instead of having New Year's resolutions, just step back and think of January as, how do I want 2026 to look? What do I want for my business? What are the goals that I want? And they need to be, I'm always using the word actionable. They need to include an action that you're going to get there. So what I mean by that is, I can say, well, I'm going to write a course on gemotherapy. I hear Judy in my head going, it's not gemo, it's gemo. I'm going to write a course on gemotherapy. All right, that's a great goal. Well, what am I going to do? Well, I can break it down into, I'm going to research the different plants that are used most often in gemotherapy, and I'm going to have that done in 3 months. All right, so and then I'm going to start writing the different courses, including things like Doctrine of Signatures and how they help with the vagus nerve. So I can have lots of different I'm going to do this in 6 months. I'm going to do that in 9 months. So that's what I mean by actionable. There's an action I'm doing within the goal, and I'm putting a time frame on it. I don't want you to necessarily do that. Now, that's up to you. If you're not tired, fatigued, busy, pulled in a million different directions, and you're going, I can do this right now, this is my focus, then you go for it. But if you're sitting here going, no, my focus needs to be on my family, it needs to be on rest, it needs to be on just being peaceful as I move forward, then what I'm asking you to do is keep this in mind, but take it into January, because when we get into January, we want to bring peace and rest into January with us so that we have the energy to move forward into the new year. Okay, so clarity is a process, not a calendar date, right? When we get clarity, it's not because we are in December or we are in January. It's because we have the time to step back, we have the time to rest and focus, and we are able to then see more clearly because we're not rushing around with so many things to do. So I just want to think about that. I want you to think about, what you can do and things that you can offer, but not necessarily get bogged down in the details right now. So now, I know I say this all the time. I'm glad for anybody who joins me on these Fridays. If you need structure and guidance, if you need that accountability moving into 2026, please drop info into Roots to Results. If you want information on Roots to Results Academy or the different levels that we offer now, just let me know, because there's a lot of things that I offer, and you don't have to figure this all out alone. And I'd love to chat with you about it, see what's going on with you. So one of the things that I want to do is I just want to I want to do our tapping session. We didn't have our first Friday meeting, and because of Thanksgiving, and then last week I just did not get it. I didn't get my act together, so we didn't have a Facebook Live last week because I was one of those fatigued and pulled in a million different directions, and I think we all need peace. So if you're still with me and can tap with me. If you're watching this is great. For those who are part of my Facebook group, the holistic, I can't even remember the name of my Facebook group. Holistic Wellness Practitioners Education and Coaching. There it is. I'll put a link for that too. If you want to join, if you want the tapping protocol that we're going to do, you need to be a member of my Facebook group to get that, and just join in. And you can just watch anytime, of course, too. But if y'all want to just tap with me, this is I call this Peace for the Present and Peace for the New Year. So just tap with me on this. And what we do is we do our setup statements by tapping on the side of the hand, like we call it the karate chop. You can tap on the side of the hand, and then we're going to just tap the different meridian points, and I'll say those as we go around, and I'll try to go slow so that y'all can follow with me. Okay, so here we go. Oh, karate chop first. Here we go. So even though I feel stretched and tired and maybe even behind, I choose to be at peace right now. I release the pressure to have everything figured out, and I receive God's peace that guards my heart and mind. So even though part of me feels like I should be doing more, planning more, or being more, I choose to rest in the truth that I am not behind. God orders my steps, and I can trust Him with this season. And even though I feel the weight of expectations, my own and everyone else's, I choose to let that weight fall off my shoulders. I receive peace, I walk in peace, and I carry peace into the new year. Take a deep breath with me, blow it out, and start at the eyebrow. I am releasing the pressure to have everything planned perfectly. Side of the eye, I let go of the stress of being behind. Under the eye, I choose to breathe deeply and let my spirit and soul settle. Under the nose, I release the weight of unrealistic expectations. On the chin, I loosen my grip on trying to control this season. Collarbone, I let peace soften all the places I've been tense. Under your arm, God is inviting me into my destiny with my birthright, and I say yes to that invitation now. Top of the head, I embrace the destiny God has for me and my business with peace. Back to the eyebrow. I welcome God's peace into every part of my mind. Side of the eye, peace about my business. Under the eye, peace about my timing. Under the nose, peace about my next steps. Chin, Philippians 4:7 says, His peace guards my heart and mind. Collarbone, I receive that peace fully and completely. Under the arm, I allow myself to slow down and hear His voice. Top of the head, His peace strengthens me and clears my path. Back to the eyebrow. I step into the new year anchored in peace. I don't have to rush. I can move with clarity. I trust the pace God has set for me. Under the nose, I trust that He's already prepared my way forward. On the chin, I carry calm confidence into 2026. Collarbone, I choose to walk with intention instead of pressure. Under the arm, I open my hands to receive new opportunities with peace, not fear. Top of the head, I move forward with the peace of Christ ruling in my heart. Colossians 3:15. Now take a deep breath. You can put your hands over your heart if you can and just say, I receive peace. And exhale and say, I walk in peace. There we go. Okay, so I hope that helped. I just wanted to keep it kind of simple because, we are at that time where everybody's busy, everybody's got a lot going on, and there's just so much going on. We just need to remember that we don't have to give in to stress and anxiety or worry. We can be at peace as we walk in our business and as we go through this. I just hope that, I hope that helped everyone. I know moving to YouTube has been a new thing, and I hope y'all are getting used to the chat, dropping chat. I can actually see the chat box this time, whereas on Facebook I never could. So for me, it's been good, but people who have been joining me have said I can't find the chat box or the chat is different, and I'm sorry about that, but hopefully this is working for y'all. And I just hope that you'll join me again for our next YouTube live. I think we'll do one more and then we'll take Christmas and New Year's off and come back in January. And I just hope that, y'all have a really good rest of your year, and we will talk to you later. Thank you, Rose and Kathy and everyone else who joined me. Really appreciate you being here. And this will definitely be up where people can watch later, and you can rewatch if needed. And I will see y'all